I am continuing my reading. What I'm doing in this series is to read through the entire standard works of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. This consists of the Bible, the Book of Mormon, the Doctrine and Covenants, and the Pearl of Great Price. I am reading in a chronological order of events, not according to publication or volume, so I will be skipping around a bit as I move along. Okay, having read in 1 Kings about the beginning of the reign of Azariah of Judah, we now flip to 2 Chronicles to read about the beginning of his reign here in 2 Chronicles. This will be 2 Chronicles chapter 26, verses 1 through 15. Now remember, Jeroboam is king in the north in Israel. And during Jeroboam's reign, Israel reestablishes its ancient borders. This is the period of its greatest strength and prosperity, is under Jeroboam II. And while that's going on, we had Amaziah, the king, was killed in a conspiracy. Well, his father was killed in a conspiracy, and then he's killed in a conspiracy. And now his son Azariah is king. Now, Azariah, that's the name given in 2 Kings, but in 2 Chronicles he is called Uzziah. And we're going to read this here. So 2 Chronicles chapter 26. Uzziah reigns and prospers as long as he keeps the commandments. He transgresses, burns incense upon the altar, and is cursed with leprosy. So, here we go. Then all the people of Judah took Uzziah, who was 16 years old, and made him king in the room of his father Amaziah. He built Eloth, and restored it to Judah, after that the king slept with his fathers. 16 years old was Uzziah when he began to reign, and he reigned 52 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Jecoliah of Jerusalem, and he did that which was right in the sight of the Lord, according to all that his father Amaziah did. He sought God in the days of Zechariah, who had understanding in the visions of God, and as long as he sought the Lord, God made him to prosper. And he went forth and warred against the Philistines, and brake down the wall of Gath, and the wall of Jebna, and the wall of Ashdod, and built cities about Ashdod and among the Philistines. And God helped him against the Philistines, and against the Arabians that dwelt in Gerbaal, and Mehunims, and the Mehunims. And the Ammonites gave gifts to Uzziah, and his name spread abroad, even to the entering in of Egypt, for he strengthened himself exceedingly. So here we go, Uzziah. He is a righteous man. He calls on God, and he gets the favor of God. He defeats the Philistines. I mean, since the time of David, Israel has never really had a victory against the Philistines. So he conquers these three cities, Ashdod, Gath, and Jebna. And the Philistines had 5 main cities that were the centers of their culture, their nation. He's conquering 3 of them. So he also defeats the Arabians, he defeats the Mehunims, whoever those are. And the Ammonites are paying tribute to him. Uzziah is restoring Judah to its former power and glory, just like Jeroboam did in the north for Israel. So here we go, verse 9. Moreover, Uzziah built towers in Jerusalem at the corner gate, and at the valley gate, and at the turning of the wall, and fortified them. Also he built towers in the desert, and digged many wells, for he had much cattle, both in the low country and in the plains, husbandmen also, and vine dressers in the mountains, and in Carmel, for he loved husbandry. Moreover, Uzziah had an host of fighting men that went out to war by bands, according to the number of their account, for the hand of Jeiel, the scribe of Maaseiah, the ruler, under the hand of Hananiah, one of the king's captains. The whole number of the chief of the fathers of the mighty men of valor were 2,600. And under their hand was an army, 300,000 and 7,500, that made war with mighty power, to help the king against the enemy. And Uzziah prepared for them throughout all the host shields and spears and helmets and habergeons and bows and slings to cast stones. And he made in Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men to be on the towers and upon the bulwarks, to shoot arrows and great stones withal. And his name spread far abroad, for he was marvelously helped till he was strong. So I like this too. The first part we read was his conquest. He went and conquered the Philistines. He defeated the Arabians. He defeated Ammon, subjected them to tribute. He defeated whoever the Mehunims are. There's not even a footnote on that, so I can't tell you anything about them. But then it talks about the defensive works he did. He built towers in the desert places. So this isn't strengthening cities. He built watchtowers throughout the land so that they would always see armies coming in advance. He strengthened the cities. He built the fortifications of Jerusalem stronger. He had much wealth, his cattle, his vine dressers. A vine dresser is one who cares and tends a the grapes, the vines. I can't remember what word now is. But a husbandman is one who cares for an orchard at this time. That's what these words mean in Kings and Chronicles. So, an husbandman is the orchard. A vine dresser is the grapes, tending the vines. And so it says he loved husbandry. He loved the soil. He loved planting and growing things. He was a gardener at heart. I like that. But then he has this great army. He says the captains were 2,600. That's just the officers. The enlisted men are the 307,500 men. And he builds them. He constructs all these weapons and armor, helmets, habergeons, bows. So a habergeon is a body armor. It's a type of body armor. But then, I like this, made in Jerusalem engines invented by cunning men to shoot arrows and great stones. He made catapults and ballistas. He is strengthening the defenses of his country and the armaments of his soldiers so that they can defend against any attack coming. In this way, he actually reminds me a lot of Captain Moroni in the Book of Mormon. Remember, Captain Moroni built the defenses around the cities to protect the cities. That's what Uzziah is doing. He's building national defenses, not just in the cities, but he's building fortresses in the desert for the specified purpose of giving advanced warning of any invasions and being a front line of defense. So Uzziah, he is being made strong by God. So far, he hasn't even fallen into idolatry. He's got the blessings of God because he is faithful. But we will see how that goes. So I'm going to leave that here. And next we'll be turning to the book of Amos, because Amos prophesied during the reign of Jeroboam and Uzziah. Now I know that in this reading it talked about the Uzziah turning to God under the counsel of Zechariah. But this is not the same Zechariah that wrote the book that we have as the book of Zechariah in the Old Testament. So we will be reading that book when we come to that Zechariah. He actually prophesied during the Babylonian captivity, or just after the return to Jerusalem. So that guy's much later. Right now, Amos is next. So we will see you there.